To give people context, this movie is at 40% on the tomato meter. Wonder Woman 1984 is at 58%, and Justice League, Joss Whedon's Justice League, is at 39%. That means more critics cumulatively liked Wonder Woman 1984 more than Black Adam. And almost the same amount of critics liked Black Adam as they did Justice League. Justice League from 2017, that was god awful. And Wonder Woman 84, which is, by the way, 10 times worse than Justice League. It is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And if you don't believe me, as an ambulance goes by, because they're on their way to go try to revive Patty Dugan's career.
Pizza time. Pizza time. Pizza time.
Pizza time.
Pizza time.
Alex, what a beautiful Sunday it is to be talking about movies.
It's always a good Sunday when we're talking about movies, isn't it?
It is. It typically is. And this week in particular, it's all we're talking about, right?
Yeah, just a movie review. I mean, it's all we talk about all the time.
In general?
Yeah, in general. But now it's just a movie.
But I think today is going to be a special one, and it's fun because it is the review of Black Adam, the Dwayne Johnson movie, which we got to see this weekend, opening weekend.
Yeah.
And before I start with that, I wanted to start with an anecdote just to get your thoughts on it, because I'm kind of conflicted with how I feel about myself in the situation. Okay. Yes, and a situation that happened at my Black Adam screen, or my Black Adam screening. It has nothing to do with the movie, but it was so out of left field. I didn't expect this to happen at all, and I don't know what to think of it. Okay. So, really quickly, during my Black Adam screening, I was just watching the movie, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lady that was sitting next to me, to my right, one seat over. Okay. I didn't even know who this was until this happened. I didn't even notice her at all, 100%. I don't even know if, for all I know, anybody could have been next to me. It could have been Harrison Ford. I wouldn't have known. And so during the movie, I was just watching. Somebody says a line. I think it was Hawkman or whatever. And you know me, I'm there for work too, so I have to like write some notes. Mm-hmm. So what I do is I pull out my phone out of my pocket.
Oh no!
And I always make sure before, because just in case I have to pull out my phone, I lower down the brightness, right, just to not bother anybody. I don't want to bother anybody in the movie, but sometimes I still have to take notes. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So I pull out my phone, and the moment my screen turns on, this is what I hear. And I look to my right, and it's the lady. She is snapping her fingers at me, going, "Hey, no, like I'm not watching the movie. Like she's like, the movie's still going. Like you can't have that out. You can't have that out." Okay. And this is all I do. If you're the lady, that's the perspective. I go. I just look back at my phone. Now. I was very angry at that moment. It's probably why I acted that way.
Yeah,
I wanted to get your take on how do you think I handled that?
Well, with that one little I think move. It's fair, first of all. But I think you should have handled it more so the way Brad Pitt handled his issue in Bullet Train.
How's that?
He says,
"Oh, with Karen,
lady." Yeah, and then you should have been really aggressive with it, and then said, "I'm really sorry, I'm working on it," and then see what it would happen. I think that.
Damn it, you're right.
The best approach to handle that.
Damn it.
You saw it Thursday night, right? That was your screening, or Thursday afternoon?
I saw it Thursday afternoon.
From memory.
Damn it.
Memory serves correctly. Warner Bros. Does weird screenings, man. They basically.
Well, wait, no. Okay, hold on. When I say it's screening, it's just it was not a press screening. It was what I like to call civilian screening, also demeaning. It's just a joke. Sorry, but I was just at a 3 p.m. normal Thursday screening. That's all.
Oh, okay.
No, it was not at this was not press. She was just a normal fat lady. The fat part's not important, but she was fat. But damn it, you're right. So I wasn't being a little aggressive enough. You thought that was a little too
Yeah,
it wasn't too harsh.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, once like somebody like ticks me off, I forget how to be civil.
Civil.
Yeah, if that's the way.
Dude, I try my best to do. Even I thought that was aggressive for me, just like giving someone a stare.
Yeah, it's fine.
But I figured, okay, what calm my nerves though. Was I wrong to pull out my phone just to do some notes or what? Like,
I don't think so.
Set me straight here.
As long as like I get annoyed when people like straight take their phone, right, and then point it up and then take are trying to.
Well, holy shit! Yes, like I would never do that.
That annoys me.
Well, she was acting like I was gonna film the movie without even knowing why I pulled out my phone. What if my mom was dying, bitch? Yeah, like you don't know.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I think you handled it right. I think like
okay,
as long I get angry at people that pull out their phone and their screen is super bright.
Yeah, exactly. Sure, me too, which is why I lower the, everyone should do the phone courtesy check in the beginning of the movie. If you think you're going to pull out your phone, which most people do, and it's fine. Right. But courtesy is pull out your phone before the movie, put it on silent or vibrate, and then put the light down.
Yeah. One time this guy was like filming the very beginning of, I want to say it was No Way Home. He was,
what the fuck?
He was filming the very beginning of No Way Home, and he was like a seat in front of me, so I exaggeratively moved my leg to like put my cross my legs, and I just bumped the back of his chair, and he looked back at me, and I was like, oh, sorry, man. So you can be passive aggressive.
You're pretty passive aggressive. Yeah, you're passive aggressive.
It's a problem. I gotta stop.
We should fish people at movie theaters. We should do a Wedding Crashers kind of thing and go to movie theaters and find people who are dicks and just fuck up their day.
Yeah, I agree. That'd be fun. Was not bad. Okay, you were just trying to take a note. I was texting you through the entire of Morbius. I was sending you notes, and I was also taking notes.
But no one was in your theater because no one watched Morbius. It was
just me and then like a lady on like the complete opposite side.
What if that lady stood up, walked over to you, and was like,
I would have been like, really?
Can you imagine that shit?
What you're defending this cinema?
I might be impressed. I'd be more impressed if somebody actually did that to me, having traveled throughout that whole thing. Yeah, just to say, put your phone away, bitch.
Morbius.
I mean, see, that's the thing too, is that I kind of appreciate what she did at the same time, because it's like, I wish I'd be that way if I saw someone doing something wrong. I just thought I was being fairly vanilla about it, but okay.
A little conflicted. I can see because like it does annoy me, but it only annoys me if someone's like taking a picture of something. Like
sure, of course.
Like the dude tried to take a picture of Matt Murdock, and I was like, come on, man, like this, like that's a big spoiler you're ruining for somebody. Yeah. So like, as long as you weren't taking a picture of like the post-credit scene, I'm fine.
Yeah.
If you take
but still, the rule is don't fucking take shots or video of the movie. Period. You just don't do that.
Yeah.
Period. There's no reason to, except to be a dick. Period.
It's like guy code, but it's movie code.
You're gonna be exactly. You're gonna be a dick by doing that. Just don't fucking do it. Okay.
I agree.
So, thank you for relieving my stress on that, because that was really bothering me all freaking week. Just because socially speaking, I can be that way. But thank goodness that my reaction was at least in line with Alex's standards.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
I think it's good. I think you're good. It's totally
okay. All right, fuck you, bitch. Yeah. All right, we are gonna get ready for our Black Adam screening review. Jesus Christ,
ladies
this thing
and
is still in my mind.
I just wanna let everybody know it's 9 a.m. and Ed doesn't wake up before noon. He probably went to bed like 4 hours ago. Playing
Marvel Snap.
Yeah, playing Marvel Snap or on.
I'm so sorry.
Apex Legends or something like that. He doesn't do mornings.
Fuck,
I've known him for a while now, and he just doesn't do mornings.
And I haven't had my coffee today, so
his decaf coffee, because he can't have caffeinated coffee.
Yeah, although I will say I've been slowly getting into caffeine again. I've been.
I thought you couldn't have it.
It's not that I can't have it. I choose not to, because otherwise I feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack. But lately I've been taking small dosages. Well, true, yes. But now I've been dealing with anxiety for longer than like half of my life. I'm just okay with it now. I'm gonna deal with it. And so I've been like having small bursts of caffeine, and I've been okay.
Okay,
So
well, that's great news for
yeah,
well, maybe.
exactly.
Might be
Yeah.
good news. I don't know. How about
Well,
we retry the intro to Black Adam?
okay. Here's an intro for you. How about this? For this movie that we're reviewing today, I like my hero like I like my coffee, black. That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is the Black Adam review, people. We are
Yes.
finally going to talk about the Dwayne Johnson movie. It is the nth number movie in the DCU because who cares? I don't know what number this is.
Lost count.
The 12th.
Is it only the 12th?
No, I don't know, honestly.
Oh,
I'm
oh,
throwing out a
shit.
number. My point is that I don't, we don't really care about the DCU, but here, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, I was close. It's the 13th movie. If you include Zack Snyder's Justice League.
You can't.
That's one point.
You were right.
You can't do that? Oh, so
No,
it was
it's not
12, yeah.
canon. WB already
Okay.
said Zack Snyder's Justice League is not canon.
Okay, it's not canon. All right, fine. So the 12th. I got that on point. It is the 12th movie in the DCEU and highly anticipated. It is the first movie since the Suicide Squad last year. The DC movies don't come out as periodically as the Marvel films, so we end up waiting. Oh, wait. Well, are we counting that? Wait a minute.
I don't know if we count that in the DCEU, but that's a DC movie.
Ah, another talk for another day. Because actually, you're right. I'm looking at the Rotten Tomatoes DCEU list right now. It's not on here. The Batman. It may not be part of I don't know. Holy shit. That might be another discussion to have.
Yo,
that's weird. Joker is also not on here.
Well, Warner Bros. is a mess,
Warner Bros. is a mess.
They're a mess.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they know what's canon and what's not.
Until the movie has Joaquin Phoenix in it or whatever, Robert Pattinson, I think this is like the Man of Steel line. And they're gonna consider it that, I guess. Okay. So if you want to include those, it's the 14th movie. Okay. All right. Mathematics.
Yeah, I think we don't include them actually.
Okay. All right.
I mean, because in this movie, you see pictures of Superman, you see pictures of Batman. It's Zack Snyder's Batman.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So it's in that
Aquaman,
continuum.
It's his Aquaman. You see the Flash. It's his Flash. Oof.
Oh, you're right. Okay, let's not conclude. That's okay. So RT's right. RT's right. But still,
the 12th.
Yeah, it's the 12th. And so I'm ready to just jump in and talk about it, man. I've been excited to talk about this ever since I saw it because I have thoughts. I'm sure you have thoughts too.
Yeah.
And let's just get into it, dude. What did you think? What did you think of Black Adam? Straight up.
Overall, I enjoyed the film. I actually enjoyed it. There are moments I was like, okay, this is a little much. I won't lie. I got a little annoyed with the narrative. I was like, okay.
Oh God, dude, you're supposed to.
Come on.
Based on
how they
based on everything that kid said, I'm like, you wanted us to hate this kid.
Got a little annoyed with the kid. First off, second of all, I immediately want a Hawkman spinoff and a
Dr. Fate
spinoff. Let's go find who gets the next.
Right
helmet. On. Kent is dead. Spoiler alert. Let's go find the next. Sorry, I guess you.
Biggest spoiler of the movie, just not dropping it.
Oh well. I immensely enjoyed them. The Rock, you could tell, was really trying to tone back his charisma. And I don't know if that, I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing because he wasn't the charismatic Rock he always is. He had moments where he was you could see it really trying to come through.
Right.
But, this guy's not supposed to be that. He's supposed to be this menacing thing. The story was okay. It was just okay. It wasn't the worst story I've ever seen. But yeah, I enjoyed it. So we'll start there. Ed, what about you?
Alex, we're gonna have to find a fucking movie that we actually disagree on one day because this is getting hard. I totally agree. Dude, I totally agree with you. I had a great time with this movie. Yeah. It's not a good movie. Want to preface that. It's not even close.
I am so glad you said that because it's absolutely not a good movie.
It's
No,
fairly trashy.
no,
But it's
not a
so
good movie.
entertaining, and there were a lot of elements I really found myself enjoying, and I think they actually hit better than most of the other DCEU movies that I think that did it well. I describe this as the best worst DCEU movie ever made. It's
Oh,
easily
that's a
the best
brilliant way
of
to
the
put it.
worst.
Yeah, I
Yes.
like that. I like that
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, it's the best because at least it was entertaining. And
Yeah.
you brought it up. The big reason why I think this movie works the most, Hawkman and Dr. Fate.
Yes.
I don't know if I could enjoy this movie more if they weren't in it. Like,
Oh yeah.
you're right. Dwayne Johnson does a good job. I actually really like his character, and I think he plays him well. I totally get his character. I'm like, that's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
But dude, the interaction and the dynamic between Hawkman and Dr. Fate is like everything to me in this movie. Everything that I think back to what I liked about it mostly comes from them for the most part.
Yeah.
Because it was so interesting. Like, they're actually really interesting characters, and they're great actors. Luke, what's his name? Lucas Hodge? Aldous Hodge.
Aldous Hodge.
What a debut, man.
You know,
like, you feel him, right?
dude, yes. Keep going.
Yeah, okay. So no, he's incredible. He almost had the same charisma and weight as Chadwick Boseman did in Civil War.
Yes.
Like, he just commands the screen and everything he says. He's so good. And I don't even know Hawkman. And in fact, it's such a stupid, ridiculous thought of a character. And he plays him. He sells it so crazy well. I'm like, whoa. I was swooning at this guy.
Yes.
And then, of course, it's Pierce fucking Brosnan as Dr. Fate. Perfect casting, too. Probably two of the best castings DCEU has done in forever, in all honesty.
Yeah.
They were so captivating, and their relationship was great. Again, so that was my highlight, was those two were great. And then the other highlight, again, is Dwayne Johnson I thought was great. I think she's really cool. And I liked his story. The twist with the whole, like, oh, that wasn't him, it was his son, and he was the father. I thought that was really great. That was the part I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
That's really good.
I didn't know that was coming.
Me too.
I mean, I was like, I knew something was up with the story for it to go sideways. I figured, oh, the kid went fucking nuts. But no, it's not. It wasn't that. It was, he gave the power to the father, and the father ruined everything. Like, I thought that was a really nice little twist. Yeah.
Well, it's one of the first times that the parent in a superhero story gets the power, gets like that versus the kid growing up without a parent or like feeling like they failed their parent. It's like, no, you have this kid who was such an amazing human being that he actually chose to save his own father instead of taking the mantle himself. And I thought that was so beautiful. I was like, wow, what a great switch up on the typical hero story that we always get. Mm-hmm. And it came as a surprise. I thought like on the script level, I was like, that's really great.
Yeah.
What a cool way to. So I thought that really added to my enjoyment of at least that little tiny part of the story that mattered, because everything else was absolute shit. It didn't matter. It just didn't matter.
I agree.
Yeah. And the last thing I'll give props to, VFX. The graphics were probably probably the best. I had no hiccups with like any of the visual effects in this movie. I thought it was gorgeously shot in a lot of these cases, and the effects with like the lightning and the coloring, I thought were really great. Yeah, they look really good. It's solid work.
It's funny how good VFX can be when you give the team the right amount of time and the right amount of effort. Like, obviously we've been talking a lot about the struggles with Marvel VFX and how bad they've been recently. This was the complete opposite of that. And I thought it was incredibly refreshing to have just completely done VFX the way they are. Like you, I enjoyed the color. Going back to Hawkman and Dr.
Go
Fate,
for it.
You almost want this movie to be a Justice Society of America movie, and the villain they're fighting is
Black Adam.
And that's such a smart thing to do, because if you put Black Adam on a screen, sure, maybe it sells, maybe it doesn't. But like, Black Adam with The Rock is going to get more butts in the seats than Justice Society of America will. Like, that's just how it is. But I enjoyed every single bit of both of those characters, dude. From the moment they get to Kahndaq, I said that right.
Kahndaq, I think you're right.
Yeah. From the moment they get to him and you see The Rock drop the guy and Alcatraz goes, oh shit, and he jumps out of the thing, I was like, oh, damn, that's fucking cool, man.
Oh, it was great. It was great. Yeah, and you know, in the beginning too, this movie pulls a lot from very old movies, superhero movies. I mean, the Justice Society is basically like X-Men. Like he lives in his own mansion. The fucking jet comes out of the main the basketball court in the front of the house. The jet looks like the fucking jet from X-Men. I mean, it just looked so the same. But then from there, it actually it finds a little niche of its own to really grow as the Justice Society, which I thought was great. And I think one of the cool parts of the movie, the most enticing part, was the interaction of the Justice Society with Black Adam and how like they were trying to kind of teach him like how to be a hero, because they could sense that he wasn't bad all the way, but he was just going about this all wrong. But it also made narrative sense because he's from 4,000 years ago or whatever the fuck. Right. That's how they dealt with justice back then. Right. So they're actually trying to teach him. I thought that was all funny. Like all those things actually worked when like Black Adam took those two hostages and they were trying to teach him like, you don't kill hostages. And he's like, okay. And he takes them up into the sky and drops them. And then he had to wait for Hawkman to get him. I thought that was great. I really scenes like that were awesome.
I really like the part where Dr. Fate like kind of beams in and then talks to Black Adam after they kidnap the kid, and he says, "Well, bring him back. I'll break his brain." And The Rock's like, "Well," and then Dr. Fate goes, "You killed him, didn't you?" Yes.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, all that was so good. So dude, Aldous Hodge is so good in this movie that I mean, to me, he felt it felt the same as when Chadwick Boseman kind of stepped into the suit for the first time in Civil War. Like he just commanded the screen. I thought he surprised me the most because I don't really know him. I'm not really sure where else I've seen him. I know I have. I just don't know where. And here it was like he's been doing this. He's like a veteran. Like he's great. I can't see what else he's gonna do because he was awesome as Hawkman. What'd you think?
Well, I thought he was like the highlight of the movie, obviously along with Dr. Fate. But like for me, what I love so much about him was he was kind of that first in a long time, in my opinion, no bullshit superhero.
Yes.
I'm here to do a job and get it done. I don't care. And you know what it kind of reminded me of? He kind of reminded me of Hobbs from Fast Five. The Rock's character Hobbs, who says, I see a name on a sheet, I go get him. Like, that to me is what he reminded me of. And I like, it's like one of those things you didn't know you missed it till you see it, Like I didn't know I missed that type of hero till this movie. Like I was thinking about afterwards, I was like, man, I really missed that kind of superhero because Captain America's so, now he's so layered.
Well, he's
Iron
a Boy
Man's
Scout,
so
right?
layered. Yeah, everybody is just so layered. No one's just following orders to get the job done anymore. Like, because I mean the MCU's kind of built it that way.
Right.
The heroes can't just be one note.
Well, he's very like my way or the highway.
Yeah,
and like, it's my way or the highway.
Yeah, and it works with Black Adam, how they're they have that similarity. Like it's my way or the highway.
Yeah. I mean, you would think a guy dressed as a hawk, just that wouldn't work. Right. And it works really well, and he just sells the shit out of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, every scene he's in, he doesn't break. He's like, you're not gonna get past me, dude. So I don't know what you want me to do.
I loved it. I loved his interaction with Atom Smasher because he kept messing up. He goes, "You and me, you and me."
Yeah,
I really liked it. Yeah, I really want a Hawkman spinoff, and I think it's a brilliant idea.
Me too. And here's the thing: is like I don't know anything about Hawkman at all. Really, I've seen him in like the we call it the animated series, growing up, and I don't really care for him. I don't think anybody really typically does, but here he had such. I mean, I care more about him than almost anybody else, besides maybe Superman at this point. If you're gonna throw me the DCU characters, the superheroes we have, like I don't care about almost any of them. But he is immediately on the top of my list, and even Dr. Fate. So let's talk about Dr. Fate too. I mean, Pierce Brosnan, dude, he still has it, dude. Yeah, he's so good. And this whole like, I mean, he's basically a ripoff of Doctor Strange, but I don't give a shit. Yeah, he's awesome. He's really cool,
dude,
and he's better than Doctor Strange was. this year in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Yes, he out Doctor Strange. Like
Yeah.
he is everything
hard to
you
do.
wanted to. You want everything you wanted Doctor Strange to be in Doctor Strange 2 was what Dr. Fate was.
Totally.
Because he was commanding. He knew what he was doing.
Level-headed.
He was
right?
level-headed. He didn't make rash decisions.
Yeah.
And he was an absolute badass.
And he's an older superhero.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that he's an older man, and it wasn't a joke, right? Like, oh, old timer. No, he's a superhero.
Yeah.
There's no jokes. He's awesome. You respect him.
So
it's great.
I'll come back to that joke thing in a second, because I have a really like that was one of the most refreshing things about this movie. But
yes,
yeah, Dr. Fate, dude, he was just from the moment like when he takes on Black Adam, when the Justice Society first gets there.
Sure.
And you see him kind of like go through dimensions to save people and create multiples of himself, and almost have this like glass dimension thing. Or mirror dimension. I was like, holy fuck, that is so cool. And then when he goes and faces Sabak at the end by himself, dude, that
so
was
cool.
So epic. It was just like, I can't say it enough. It's what you wanted Doctor Strange to be this year, and Dr. Fate did it. DC did it. It's like The Rock took some of the best parts of the MCU. Like, he saw Infinity War and said, damn, that Doctor Strange scene when he goes against Thanos, and he says, we're gonna one up that. Yeah,
right.
We're gonna do that, but we're gonna one up them. And like they did, almost like everything was so much better about it. And again, it was so well executed from a visual standpoint that I don't see how you couldn't enjoy those scenes with Dr. Fate and Hawkman, and even Atom Smasher growing, and Cyclone, the way she was able to, manipulate air, and the way they made that kind of known in the movie was cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But let's talk a little bit about Atom Smasher and Cyclone, because overall I thought they were actually fairly inconsequential. I don't know if I needed them, but they were cute. Like, they're there, and I don't think they hurt anything. I did like seeing his powers. He was very much, I mean, he's obviously he's the Ant-Man. Oh, and who's his father? Random ass cameo by Henry Winkler, but sure, great. Why not?
One. Yeah, I was like,
that was it's like, he took his time at his home in his backyard in Pasadena to shoot that little thing on his iPhone.
Is there any significance to this? Why are we doing this? But okay,
it's so random.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I don't know. Maybe he looks like the father's character, or as a father. I forget. Sorry, but
his grandfather.
I don't know if he looks like him or something, but whatever. It was so random. I was just like, okay, sure. I I don't know. Whatever. Maybe Henry Winkler is a friend of the director. I don't know. But I thought that was funny.
It was Noah Centario. He plays Adam
Centineo.
Sorry.
By the way, everyone gets his last name wrong. I literally watched like John Campia, some other guys. Everyone got his last name wrong. It's hilarious. I get his last name wrong. I don't know what it is about his last name. Everybody gets it wrong.
It's a weird last name.
It's a weird last name.
So like going back to what I said, we put a pin in. Like, so Marvel movies, I think, especially recently, they can feel like heavy-handed with the comedy. Like, it's too much of a joke, right?
Understatement to say that, dude.
Everything's a joke, right?
Everything's a joke.
Like, Noah Centineo was here for it to be the comedic relief. And the fact that he was inconsequential, I think, was perfect, because
I agree.
He was there to be funny, but it wasn't too much. And like everything he did never felt forced. When he's running the opposite direction because he's like, because he doesn't know where he's going to find the main fight. And then when they're at the table and he has that like line about like love heals all. I can't remember the exact line.
Yeah, some cheesy shit like that.
Yeah, Dr. Fate looks at him. Seriously, shut up.
Yeah.
Like, all
he wants to be taken seriously. Again, who is he a better character of? The Flash. This is what the Flash should have been in Justice League, and in the Justice League, you wanted him to shut up. He was sometimes. I mean, he's great. I do like Ezra Miller as the Flash, but
I don't.
The way fair enough. I don't mind him as the Flash, but it's the way his character was written and presented that was a big problem. It's just like you knew he was. I mean, he was just so. It was just so slap in the face. Like, okay, we get it. He's funny. He's a fish out of water. He doesn't know what he's doing. Right. Okay, but every scene he's in, it's like he had to input that.
Right.
Here, it doesn't feel as heavy-handed. It felt right in the right places, done in the right times, and it's like cool. Like you know him for a second when he's on screen, and you immediately forget him. It's great. It's like you don't have to spend too much time with him.
He's inconsequential, but he's inconsequential and funny, so it
in the right way.
Out. Yeah, you know, I completely. That was the best part of that of his character, that he did bring levity to it, because again, there's not a lot of levity in this film. Like the jokes aren't overhanded at all, and they're well placed and well timed, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, and then I would say Cyclone's way more inconsequential than I mean, she was cool.
Wonderful actress. Cool. She's cool.
Yeah. I don't know her name.
I still and yeah, again, look, if you start to think about her name is Quintessa Swindle. Okay. I don't know where she's from. She's great. But yeah, she's there, and that's fine.
Cool. Great.
But
awesome.
Yeah, on the story level though, you think about like, oh, we had to like put this team together to take Black Adam. Weird choice is all I'm saying. Weird choice for a character. I don't know how the society works, but
me either. But
odd team, but whatever.
It's pretty clear. Like, here's the leader, and he gets to pick from a roster of superheroes, which is a really cool idea, right? Like,
I think so. Yeah.
It's like
I love to know more.
But I
think the introduction of Justice Society actually really worked. I mean, I'm just really interested into what this all was. Again, you think about like, well, this has been here the whole time. That's the problem, right? This has been here the whole time. It's like, they're not helping the Justice League. It's like, all that's questions in the air.
Yeah.
But luckily, the movie doesn't pay any attention to that. Right. So it's like, great. You don't have to worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it.
Don't think about it. Like, as soon as you start to like think about some of this stuff, oh boy, it all falls apart.
It's so bad.
Like, it's built on a throne of lies you've never seen before. I mean, being held together by toothpicks and
it's
Scotch tape.
But that's why I think the movie works so well, because it knows what it wants. That being said, again, it's not a good movie. It's not a good movie, but it still knows what it wants.
Let's talk about the things that make it not. Okay, wait, go ahead.
Oh God, no, go. Let's do it, because I want this to lead in. I want this to lead into the score, because so let's talk about it first,
and then we'll talk about why this is
where it is at.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, in the reception. Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about the stuff we didn't like, and I'm glad we started with the things we did like, because it's pretty clear that it's such an easy movie to say bad things about, because again, it's not a good movie. Yeah. So I'm glad we got some good stuff out of it, which there is. So please, if you haven't seen it, watch it.
Loved.
Yes.
I don't know why I loved it so much, because I didn't really love the whole when the dead people started coming out of the ground. I thought that was really stupid.
Who cares? But
I was dying of laughter when the brother comes driving through and hitting people, and he's singing that song, "Baby, come back," and he's singing all the words wrong. I was dying, and he says that thing, "Don't worry, I die of electricity."
Yes,
Dr. Bates.
See, there's some good jokes in this movie. There are actually some good jokes.
Look,
and the brother was pretty funny.
I shouldn't think that's that funny, but I'm fucking dying right now.
No, it's pretty great. And that whole interaction with Dr. Fate, where he's like, "Oh, it's okay, you die of electricity." He's like, "I'm an electrician." Yeah. I thought that was really such a good. Yeah, that's a smart joke.
Yeah,
Marvel used to tell jokes like that.
Marvel used to do stuff like that.
They used to tell jokes like that. Not right now. Hopefully they go back to that.
Yeah,
anyways.
hopefully.
I agree. Okay. That was fun.
Now let's jump into why this actually is not technically a good movie.
No, not
in terms of like filmmaking. Like, this has so many tropes from like the 2000s movies, like the slow-mo. When Black Adam first appears and he goes and beats up all those dudes.
Yeah.
I forget what their names, whatever they were. Intelligent Group. Energy Group. I don't fucking know. Anyway, when he goes in, like the slow motion scene there, I was just like,
that is straight up early 2000s like concept and idea.
This is trash, guys. This shouldn't be in this movie.
The entire beginning part of the movie is not good. Like, let's just be straight. The whole first maybe 30 minutes or so is not. I was like looking at my watch already. I was like, holy shit.
I was
this is bad.
Because I said after the movie to my wife, I was like, hey, if you can't make it past the first 30 minutes of that film, you might have some problems, because as soon as the Justice League or Justice Society gets there, you're in. You're
picks
like,
it, picks up immediately.
Yeah,
it almost feels like two different people directed the first half and then this half. Like, it just it didn't make sense, because like and even the first action scene, the slow mo scene where the song in the background's painted black.
Yeah,
which I thought was a pretty cool choice. But yeah, the execution of the scene just came off tacky.
Yeah, it's tacky.
Really? Like this is the opening scene with Black Adam?
And let's talk about like, so you said Paint It Black, right? Let's talk about the music selection. There is so much like licensed music in this. First of all, I'm super shocked they kept the Kanye West song in after.
Even as a Kanye West fan, I was like, oh, okay, all right. I mean, why?
Like it's clear like they saw this and like, you know what, let's do something that's gonna hype up the crowd, because even my head was going, oh, okay, yeah.
But even so, dude, Power, that song has been used in so many marketing materials and movies since its inception. That song came out in 2009 or 10, dude.
Yeah,
it's been 12 years. What?
There's so many weird decisions. That
Such a weird choice.
What the fuck?
It's not like a bad choice. It's just it feels tacky. It feels like so 2000, like way back. I'm like, it's feeling a little outdated here. Like, what the hell?
Let's talk about the kid. Like that was another like movie trope that's just
fuck that kid.
Well, it's like not well thought out. It's like, oh, the only way Black Adam's gonna do the right thing is if this kid convinces him to. Like, I don't think you needed that whole, like the kid and the mom. Like, I don't think you needed that whole thing.
Well, it just because it ties to the again his narrative of when he lost his wife and his kid, and so you understand. Oh, that's why he's being so. Why he's saving them, and he has a soft spot for them. I get it. That part I don't mind. It's more so that those two characters just suck.
Yeah,
and that kid particularly has the worst lines I've ever heard this year. I think spouted by any character. I'm like, and his performance is horrible.
When he stands up and he says, "We're all as one," and I was just like, I get what you're trying to do. Like you're trying to unite the country against all the pressures and all the people that have been taking over your country. But like,
so fucking lame.
That was like the worst acting I've seen in a movie this year.
I think it definitely is like part of it's really the acting. That kid was not. I mean, his face. He had this sort of like half smile, half, just halfway point face the whole time. No matter what he said, it's just like that was his face.
Yeah, kind of miscast him because he's
terrible. I'm sorry, kid. Sorry, kid. I work on it. Is all I'm saying. I mean, just because it's just not good.
Zero charisma.
Zero charisma. I didn't hate the mom. She's a sort of veteran actress. She's been in some things, but again, those two characters, just the way they're written and they function, just felt so. When they're on the screen, you just want them to go away. And whatever, it's fine. You wish that they just weren't there. But
exactly. You're just like, we're wasting time here. You're taking time away, screen time away from Aldous Hodge and The Rock, and you should give them a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly. Or just a better actor, because that kid just was terrible. I'm sorry.
What were some of the other things that stuck out to make this not a great movie?
Again, just overall, the direction. I mean, Jean. Who's the director?
Is the guy that did Jungle Cruise.
Jean Colette Serra. I'm sorry, dude. It's not a great director. I'm not gonna say you're not a good director, but this movie is not well directed.
No,
I definitely think the highlights are not due to his direction. Most of the film is obviously very sloppy. The editing is terrible, especially in the beginning. It's like, but my guess is that they just don't have coverage.
No,
the narrative, like especially in the beginning, the narrative is just like, oh my god, like there's nothing there, and it's very clear that the editor just had to kind of make bounds and leaps because there's just no other coverage. And that sucks. So
my guess is that they knew what they wanted the meat of this movie to be. They wanted it to be Black Adam versus the Justice Society, and they knew they knew that they had these great scenes with Dr. Fate and Hawkman and Black Adam and Sabbac, but to pull all that off, they knew they had to stick within this $200 million budget, and they didn't shoot coverage.
No,
they didn't.
It's pretty clear.
They needed to do on the physical set. And they focus so much on this like spectacle stuff, which don't get me wrong, spectacle stuff is why I like the movie.
Exactly. That's why it's like, thank goodness they at least they picked something up from that, because I get it was a little too long at 30 minutes of the movie, because I was giving up on it. I was giving up on the movie. I was like, this is terrible. I don't want to watch this anymore. But thank goodness they really picked it back up. But yeah, and then of course the story is almost non-existent and the script is terrible. It is. Except the scenes where they clearly spent the most time, which was the interaction between the Justice Society and Black Adam. Period. That's it. Done.
Awful. Yeah.
The moment you jump out of that bubble and you think about the villain, who is like, who gives a shit? He turns into devil or whatever. Whatever.
That's another massive problem with this fucking DC universe.
They're villains.
Give them a villain. Stop with this, last 20 minutes. It's the CGI villain you don't give any fuck about because you have to put a big villain in there. Like, you got to do something. You got to figure that villain thing out.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
They don't. CGI villains are killing me.
No, it sucks. It's the same thing every single time.
Yeah.
They don't know how to do their villains right at all. At all, period. They've never done a good villain. I can't think of one, at least. Can we think of a good villain really quick?
DCEU?
Yes. Literally.
But I don't. I guess Zod would be the best.
As the best villain, sure. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It is Michael fucking Shannon, which is pretty dope, But yeah, is he good? No. But he is the most tied to the main character and his story, like intrinsically.
Yeah. At least there's a reason,
But ever since they've been really scared to do that. I don't understand why. They don't want to make a villain who is either as smart or better than their heroes. Right. I just don't get it. Yeah, they don't want to do it.
Like
I don't know.
Equal. Yeah.
Yeah, like an equal. They don't. So yeah, it falls into that. That's another bad thing about this movie. Again, is the villain's just whatever.
Yeah, the script is really bad. The lines the movie, like you said. When The Rock isn't on screen or the Justice Society isn't on screen, man, the movie sinks.
Oh, it's rough.
Like you feel it. Like you don't feel the time being passed when those guys are on scene. When The Rock and Aldous Hodge and they're all kind of, and the relationship between Aldous Hodge and Kent, that's obviously they're good friends, right? But when they're off screen, man, like you said, you look at your watch and you're like, Jesus, hey, what's going on? You feel the minutes, and that's a sign of not great direction, like you said.
Yeah, no, for sure. Again, I think that it's just a lot of it's not really due to the director. It's a lot of I'm sure it was part of it was Dwayne, and again, and the performances. They really sold it. Honestly, it was a huge home run for the Justice Society. Like, it really saved the movie.
Yeah.
Without them, I'm telling you, I don't think I would like this movie at all. I think it'd be a complete train wreck.
I agree. If it's Black Adam versus Zabak, you don't give a fuck about this movie.
No, you just don't care. Which I thought it was like such a smart move. Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Let's talk about that one scene, just out of curiosity, how you felt. That cameo from a little Peacemaker character that happened when they decide to.
Oh, they brought her back in. Or
they brought her back.
Yeah. What's her name?
I forget her name.
James Gunn's wife.
It's James Gunn's wife. But she's in it, and that whole scene where they bring him in to the holding cell or whatever. Amanda Waller, Jennifer Holland.
Yeah.
I thought that was a nice. I mean, if you watch Peacemaker, that was kind of nice, especially if you liked Peacemaker. I was like, okay, cool. Little small cameo. It wasn't Peacemaker himself, which I thought would have been maybe a completely wrong move. But just little ties to the show I thought were great. That's cool.
I disagree. I think
you think
if I saw Peacemaker putting him in and then making a fucking comment about look how small and weak you have trouble fucking catching this guy with Peacemaker's dumb. I think it would have been great if it was Peacemaker.
I don't think it would. I would have hated it. Yeah, I don't think I would have hated
John
it. John
Cena and The Rock.
It's okay.
They're building toward it.
That's gonna happen for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool to see them. I think that this is the first proper DCEU movie in a long time, right? Since
what do you
Wonder
mean proper?
Woman 84.
Oh, you mean just like
because we can't count the Batman and we can't count
right?
Joker.
It means in terms of the narrative. Yes, exactly.
So
but Justice League. I mean Justice League. The Suicide Squad.
Oh right, I forgot about the.
Was that after Wonder Woman or before it? I forget now.
That's after.
Actually,
that was 2020. Okay. So they're both the same year, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. I've tried to
see. I'm forgetting, but
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, there you
go. But okay. So then this was the first proper one where you can see, but I guess that does connect though, yeah, right? Like they're
they're
connecting tissues finally. They're
Exactly.
trying to in a smarter way than they had before.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's a little smarter, and which is fine.
Amanda
This is
Waller
why I thought it was fine.
they're
Amanda Waller
everywhere.
is in it
She's
again.
everywhere. Yeah, which is
She's
smart.
literally in every property. Yeah.
It's smart to have her there.
Yeah, her character's cool. A little one note, but
I mean, about
she
as
plays
one
him well
note.
though.
I think she does play her well because she's
I
like
think so
the
too.
most monotoned person in that role that I think is great. You know, she doesn't have
100%.
too much emotion, which I think, you know, you shouldn't.
Yeah, it's fine. I think it's totally fine.
Yeah. So overall, lots of issues with the movie. Now let's jump into why this movie is so lowly rated on the tomato meter. To give people context, this movie is at 40% on the tomato meter. Wonder Woman 1984 is at 58%, and Justice League, Joss Whedon's Justice League, is at 39%. That means, guys, that more critics cumulatively liked Wonder Woman 1984 more than Black Adam. And almost the same amount of critics liked Black Adam as they did Justice League. Justice League from 2017, that was god awful. And Wonder Woman 84, which is, by the way, 10 times worse than Justice League. It is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And if you don't believe me, as an ambulance goes by, because they're on their way to go try to revive Patty Jenkins' career. Because where's she fucking gone? Where's she been since that movie? Huh? She got a Star Wars movie that was announced, and guess what? Star Wars movies is gone.
Oh, shit.
Like her Cleopatra movie with Gal Gadot, she got replaced on that project. So if you don't think that Wonder Woman 84 was a total disaster, just ask yourself, where's Patty Jenkins gone? Because her career is torched right now.
God damn, I didn't think that you were going to divulge into a complete shitter for against Patty Jenkins. That's amazing.
Watched Wonder Woman 84 Christmas night with my mom and my sister and my cousin on family and whatever, and I wanted nothing more than to jump off a fucking bridge. It was that bad. I was like, this movie is so fucking terrible. I cannot believe I watched it. And then to follow it up the next year, we watched Matrix Resurrections, and I was like, we watched another terrible movie. We got terrible movies on Christmas. It's like a tradition. Anyway,
oh, you're so right. You're so right.
I'm so sorry.
No. Oh my God. No. I mean, I couldn't agree with you more for the first part, but you have you had so much vigor for it more than I did. You're right. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. Take a breath, dude. Yeah. Take a breath.
Right,
like you might get overheated. You're totally right.
Yeah.
But yeah, to talk to the score, right? You said it's 40%. And here's what's interesting about the score, right? So you said 40%. Definitely not one of the greater DCU movies. It is the fourth lowest scoring DCU film, just above slightly from Justice League, just a slight above. So it's not great by critics, but if you take a look at the audience score of the film, it currently holds the highest audience score out of any DCEU movie ever released at 90%.
I believe that.
That's crazy. And I think that's great, considering, again, this is, in my opinion, this is actually it's a pretty good bad movie. Like, it's an entertaining film.
Yes.
It's a really, really entertaining film. I was entertained by this than most DCEU movies that have certified fresh scores. Yeah. And so I'm glad that the audience here, I think, is for the first, not the first time, but it's one of the times where the audience is actually really getting this right, I think. Yeah. And championing a movie that actually is fairly entertaining. And where I think the critics kind of got it wrong.
Yeah. Like, we say all the time, there's good films and then there's bad entertaining films. This is like one of the best bad entertaining films we've seen in a long time. This was like on the Tomorrow War kind of sketch.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like what are that? I have plans to watch this again, not in the theater.
I would totally watch this again.
Yeah. I mean, but like if someone said, hey, you want to go see Black Adam with me? I'd be like, nah, fuck it. Yeah, I'll go see Black Adam.
Yeah, I would too. Dude, I just to see them, just to see Hawkman and Dr. Fate and Black Adam again. Those scenes, dude, it's so good. Seriously, like really one of some of the best interactions between superheroes, and probably I'm not gonna lie, man. It's probably my favorite interactions between any of the superheroes in any of the DCU films. Period.
Yeah, I would completely agree. Like it would come close. I'd have to think about that because like maybe just maybe I really did
Suicide
like
Squad?
Idris Elba and
Yeah.
John Cena, the way they kind of
Sure.
interacted in the Suicide
Yeah.
Squad. But I do like Dr. Fate and Hawkman more than that. So,
Sure.
but yeah, I think that it is just such a weird thing to me that it's this low. Again, we rightfully so, we say it's not a great movie, but like you cannot tell me that you are not grading on some sort of weird curve when you review a Marvel movie. When like Thor: Love and Thunder is 72 or 60 something percent. I don't know what it is. I'll check it right now. But Thor: Love and Thunder, guys, is way high. Thor:
it's
Love and
rotten,
Thunder,
right?
64%. It's fresh.
Oh, it's fresh still? I thought it was
It's
actually rotten.
fresh. And most people will agree that Thor: Love and Thunder single-handedly pretty much changed the MCU. That Kevin Feige saw it and he was like, "Fuck, we gotta course correct." That's how bad that movie was. 64%, and it had terrible CGI, like some of the worst CGI, wasted characters, terrible comedy, and yeah, what is it? Was it a better script? I'd argue it definitely wasn't a better script. And Black Adam doesn't have a great script to begin with. This movie had better CGI, better chemistry between characters, and overall a better script. And yet it's 40%. So it's just so weird to me that it's so lowly rated. I just don't understand why. It feels Eternal-esque to me, Ed.
Sure. You know? Sure. Yeah. It's in that line of like, I don't understand how this got to be. And you bring up a good point. It's true. There is this discrepancy depending on between like superhero movies and sort of how we classify them and what they're meant to do. A lot of people don't really understand like, okay, what is a superhero movie? Is because superheroes and like some people still I think are in the camp that superheroism in general is dumb.
Yeah,
like it's for kids. Yeah. It's meant to be ridiculous bullshit, right?
Absolutely.
But in the 2000s era, we found out that superheroes can mean much more than that. They can mean more than just being dumb pastime for kids. Like when you tell a great story, people recognize that. Dark Knight, again, Spider-Man, a lot of the MCU films, like a lot of phase 2 and 3 and all the phase 1 to 3 were great stories that took themselves pretty seriously and that wanted to have a good message and teach people like this is what it means to be a superhero versus the Ghost Riders, right? A lot of the early 2000s and 1999s, the Ghost Riders, the like what a Catwoman, Daredevil, like those were stupid, right? Those are dumb, stupid movies, and they're meant to be. Black Adam is like those.
Oh yeah,
there are better moments with the stupid moments that they make.
Yeah,
that worked, and they're just better.
Yeah.
Period. And they should not be put up against movies that are like Civil War or like the more introspective ones. They're different. But I think there's a group of people who don't understand that. I'm not sure if there's a group. I think each time we go into this, they're not understanding what they need to get from it. You know what I mean?
Like maybe, but yeah, again, like not to pick on Thor: Love and Thunder, but to pick on it. If we're grading against those introspective movies, 64%, that movie deserves a 64% to you. And again, I don't disagree with you. This movie is like the early 2000s films, aside from like Spider-Man, because those movies obviously were
those are
a league of their own,
way ahead of or leaving their own. You're right.
But this just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. How badly rated. Again, I understand that you have to judge movies based on not based on other movies, but based on this movie. And like all the reviews I read said it's a CGI slog, but it's good CGI. Shouldn't that
it is really good
points? You know, it feels like a movie that was made 20 years ago. And again, sure. So, but like this isn't Catwoman. It's much better than that.
Yeah, definitely. But again, I don't know. I don't actually have an answer for that. All I can say is that most of the time what we're seeing is like, again, expectations. Again, if you want to go back to the Eternals talk, right? I still think I blame the poor reception of that movie towards people just not really understanding sort of what they were supposed to get.
Right.
And again, and I don't blame them though. That's the thing, is I don't blame a lot of critics who, especially those who aren't into superhero films, right? They must be confused as shit. They must be so confused as to what what a good superhero movie is, because it's running the gamut now. Again, you're getting the Batman, this just thriller noir,
Right.
almost like Oscar level filmmaking, and then Thor: Love and Thunder and Black Adam. But they're both superhero movies.
Right.
So I and for people who are not a part of this world, they must be confused as shit. And I would imagine some of those critics there. They're just, I don't know. Like, I thought I was supposed to get, like, a lot of people in Black Adam thought they were supposed to get something more interesting, and they got, you know, a bad movie with good stuff. Thor: Love and Thunder, they were expecting something, you know, I don't know. Well, actually, again, it was considered better than most people thought. So maybe they're just happy with the fact that, like, well, it's fucking, you know, it's Taika Waititi. It's just meant to be a bunch of jokes. So isn't that what people wanted? I don't know. I don't care for it, but I'm, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
that's right. I feel like there's a discrepancy there.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like when you watch a war movie, you kind of know what you want.
But
you know what I mean?
Doesn't this give like fuel to the fans that say Marvel buys their critics? That, you know,
well, sure,
that's a thing. Like, that's a thing. Look, people,
it is a thing.
You and I worked at Rotten Tomatoes for a long time, you know, and that's all we heard. All I heard when I told friends, oh, so how much does Marvel pay Rotten Tomatoes? Like, first of all, that's not how it works, but you know, there is a little bit of that is going
100%
to be fueling this fire now, because look, I think Black Panther: Wakanda Forever is going to be a very, very good film, but let's be honest, it's going to be rated like 99, 98, 100% on the Rotten Tomato meter for at least a while, you know, and, you know, I don't know. It does feel like critics have a checklist of shit when they go into a movie, and if they don't check it, they automatically give it a worse review. And it feels like Thor and Love and Thunder had some of those checklist items, and this didn't. And that's why Thor: Love and Thunder is higher rated. Let's be honest. I personally think that's exactly what it is. You know,
I agree with you. I don't disagree with you. It is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and I also find myself being confused sometimes of like how to feel about a movie. Like, again, like Thor: Love and Thunder, like it's far from the worst superhero movie I've ever seen, but it's also, I can recognize it as not being great, like, at all. And I don't believe it deserves its fresh rating at all. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know, a part of me on the scale is understanding why that's there. But does it deserve it? That's a whole nother story, right? Like, I don't know.
I rewatched some of it a couple weekends ago, and it is
the same.
It's like one of the worst. It might be the worst MCU movie so far to date. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you about that. In my personal opinion, I think it's the worst MCU movie so far.
Yeah,
like, hands down. And again, I do think it helped. Like, I think we should be thankful for Thor: Love and Thunder, because I think Thor: Love and Thunder has given a wake-up call to Kevin Feige based on how you've seen the reaction to the new phase and what the new phase looks like.
Yes.
Not anything like Thor: Love and Thunder. There is none of that stuff. And it basically, there was a report a couple weeks ago that said because of Thor: Love and Thunder, it has killed any hopes of Thor getting a next movie.
Really?
Yeah. Because
just like another solo outing.
Yeah. So to me, it feels the score feels weird, and I'm very conflicted about it, because it just doesn't help the narrative out there that Marvel buys critics, that critics don't like. Look, I think critique is dead, and it seems like it's dead to me, because like again, it just feels like, here's a checklist of items. If you have this checklist, we're going to give you a good review.
Sure.
And if you don't, then we're not. You know,
well, you know what? But
you know, Marvel does get better reviews. They grade on a nice curve for Marvel movies. And you know, over the past year, you shouldn't be grading on the curve anymore because of the quality that's been coming out. But again, like She-Hulk's 87% certified fresh, for Christ's sake. And
yeah, I know.
I would like, rewatchability has to count for something. You know, entertainment has to count for something. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going on a rant.
I hear you. No. I hear you, man. I'm not too far from that. I don't think critiquing is dead just yet. I think there's a lot of things that people get right. I think again, in this day and age, it depends on the movie, right? It really depends on what. Again, a lot of this has to deal with politics nowadays, and all the stuff that's going on the socials. And so, you know, when you like, it's not like you're not hearing this with indie movies. You know, like everyone's still grading indie movies on the same scale they've been grading them. It's all these like mainstream blockbusters, superhero movies, anything that where it can have immense outreach that I think is getting the most muddled critiques because everyone has a different agenda because they think that they like it, depending on what's in it, then they think they're going to be judged for it.
Right.
And that sucks.
Right.
And I'm not saying Black Adam is that. And if, quite frankly, it's not. Actually, thank goodness Black Adam has no politics in it. It's probably one of the best things I could say about it too.
Absolutely.
In comparison to Marvel recently, is that has none of that in here, which is great. It's just a fun time, which is like cool. But yeah, I don't think it's dead. I think critique is just getting really muddled, man. And here's the thing. Remember, when Black Adam came out, you know, again, it was getting kind of quote unquote bought out reviews because people were kidding. It's a game changer. It's like this, like the best thing ever. The DCU put like all these things that
those were like social reactions. Everybody has social reactions, right? Like, and
part of it was critiques too.
Huh?
Part of I'm just social reactions, including critics and audience,
yeah,
both.
right,
yeah.
But like,
just to be clear,
part of me, like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess those social reactions are always a little bit cakier.
But like, see, they are. But see, at the same, so
right?
And so maybe they were bought, maybe they're not, but they were wrong too. They're wrong too. I think it's not a game changer of a film, but it's also, but I also don't think it's a 40% kind of film, right? Like it's on both ends.
Yeah.
So it's really weird. Like,
it's a very strange dynamic.
We're in a very strange time in terms of, and again, particularly for these types of movies, particularly for superhero movies, because it makes sense. They have the limelight. They are the biggest pullers of society to the movies, and so they're going to be the most harshly critiqued. That just makes sense. Yeah. And so this is what happens. You know, this is what happens. It's going to get muddled a little bit.
Multiverse of Madness is a better film, but I'd rather this any day.
Totally 100%. Yeah. I mean, there's clearly great filmmaking in Multiverse of Madness, but if you're talking about just having some fun, man, I had some great times here, dude.
I would watch this. All right,
it's so great.
Let's jump to the last thing that we haven't talked about. The cameo of cameos, the mid-credit scene. Guess who's back?
Back again.
Yep.
Cavill's back.
So
tell your friends.
Scene for you guys so you guys get caught up. There's a post-credit scene. Black Adam is back. He's sitting on a throne of Kahndaq and he's ready to be the hero or whatever. And a drone flies in and it's Amanda Waller. And Waller says, "Listen, you don't want to stay in my prison. That's fine, but consider this your prison." And he goes, "No one on this planet can stop me." And she, cheekily says, "Well, you're not the only person not from this planet." And lo and behold, there comes a nice silhouette and it's Superman. And he goes, "We should talk." And it's Henry Cavill's Superman. And look, it was nice to see him in the suit again. It was good. I really like Henry Cavill. I think he's like a nerd's best friend for all this, people love him. He seems like he's one of us, He does really actually seem like he released a video on his YouTube channel building a PC. Like that was
dude.
He's a gamer. He's he's everything.
He's a nerd. He's a nerd's nerd, 100%.
Yeah. He just looks good and can act, which he can't. Anyway, but yeah, it was good to see Superman back, and you clearly see, hey, he's gonna be a big part, and this kind of gives credence to Superman 2 is being worked on, and hopefully they can get that movie right. I still don't know.
Oh, good Lord, hopefully.
But yeah, it was nice to see him back. Ed, how did you react?
I can't help it, man. I mean, as much as I was really disappointed by Man of Steel, there's one thing from that movie that I got, and that was that Henry Cavill is my favorite Superman, like straight up. He's just so good at the roles, perfect casting. I at this point I don't know who else could have really played him. And so when I saw him walk out from the shadows, I said yes. I did. I literally went yes. He's back. We all kind of knew it.
Yeah,
but it's official. He's back, and that's all. I mean, right on, bring him on, because there's no one else I'd want him to play Superman, and just to know that he's back is great. What does this mean? What will we see him in next? I don't know. Is it Man of Steel 2? Is it Black Adam versus Superman? Another one of those. Yeah. Who knows? But it's good to know that this is basically saying Dwayne Johnson got Henry Cavill back.
Yeah.
That's what this scene was about.
Yeah. Dwayne Johnson.
And I'm happy.
I think he's basically, at the moment, Dwayne Johnson's the pseudo
Yes,
Kevin Feige.
100%.
You know,
Yeah, he's trying to be.
He's trying to be. He's going to try.
He's
to
a
build this
businessman.
Yeah,
He
not
knows what
dumb.
he's doing.
Yeah,
he knows what he's doing here. He's
but-
gunning. He is gunning for that seat 100%, or at least somewhere close, like a freaking what's his face, John Favreau type level.
Yes,
where, you know,
yes,
yeah,
exactly. So it's clear that Black Adam will be a massive part of the DCU going forward, and so will Henry Cavill. And you know, I don't really know what this means for all of next year's films. Supposedly, they're doing quite a bit of reshoots for the Flash. They're removing Michael Keaton. They're putting Ben Affleck back in it. Supposedly, Ben Affleck will cameo in Aquaman as well.
Hold the phone. What are you? I didn't hear about this. What are you saying? They're taking out Keaton?
Yeah, I've read that Keaton his role's been reduced. That Zaslav didn't like it because he felt like it was too old, and he wanted to revert back. So Affleck.
Holy shit! I didn't hear about this.
Yeah. So and supposedly Henry Cavill will meet Supergirl, the woman that's playing Supergirl. Her name's Sasha something. I'm so sorry, I can't remember your name. But yeah, apparently that's going to happen as well. So like, it's clear that they're kind of reinstating Snyder's DCEU, but also kind of not. I do think they're going to recast the Flash at the end of that movie, but regardless of what happens, they have to get through next year because those are big movies on the slate. Warner Bros. Doesn't have a ton of money. They're strapped for cash. They're cutting everywhere you look. Everywhere, every other week, there's like another 1,500 jobs that have been cut. They just cut jobs at Discovery. So they're struggling right now, and they need those movies to do good. But my point is, I don't really know what the future will actually look like until after Aquaman 2, which isn't till December. And then we'll have a clear idea of, oh, they're moving forward toward a new Justice League with this, or they're moving forward to a Justice League versus Black Adam movie. But yeah, I'm very interested to see where this goes from here. So
yeah, me too.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if The Rock cameos in Shazam too.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
More than likely.
And
I think we're going to see a lot of Black Adam moving forward. 100%.
Smart
I think he's a new
but you need
player
to see
for
a lot
sure.
more of Dr. Fate and Hawkman.
Please, for the love of God, yes.
Give me a Hawkman movie.
It's easily two of the best new characters to ever hit the DCEU. Yeah, 100%. Please bring them. And it kind of kills me that Pierce Brosnan died, but who knows? I'm pretty sure if they're listening and people love the fact that it's Pierce Brosnan, they'll find a way to bring him back because he was great. I love him.
I think it can work as basically the helmet needs to find someone else that can wear it, right?
Sure.
So
yeah, it
you
chooses
can have the voice of Pierce Brosnan and like a kind of like a spectral form of him finding the newest Dr. Fate. And that's how you bring him back into the fold. And then you can tell a story going at the same time when he first got the helmet. I think that would be pretty cool.
No, I think it's a great idea. I love it. I just whatever gets him back in the suit. That's all I give a shit about.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I want. I thought he did a great job. I mean, Pierce Brosnan, man, it just reminded me because he does a pretty good job of not really taking everything that's thrown at him. He's very rarely in movies.
Yeah,
but when he's on screen, man, it just reminds me like this is why he was a star. This is why he's one of the bigger stars to ever hit to do it.
Yeah.
That's why he's fucking James Bond, bro. Because he's got charisma for days and he can act. Yeah. He can act. He's great.
We always talk about how, the Casino Royale and, Daniel Craig's James Bond films are great. Some of them are. But we always talk about like, man, that GoldenEye film is fucking amazing.
Easily one of the best James Bond films. And I still think
it's my personal favorite.
It's your personal favorite. Okay, nice. Yeah.
Favorite.
Yeah.
To me, much as I liked Daniel Craig as James Bond, he's my James Bond. He's the first person I watched as James Bond. Pierce Brosnan's my James Bond.
Fair enough. I mean, I've until Daniel Craig got on screen, obviously he was mine too. Yeah. He still is. Yeah, I grew up with him too. Yeah. But I do love Daniel Craig now. I think he's my favorite. But dude, he's just so good, man. I don't know what to say. Like, I don't want anyone else to play Dr. Fate now. That's all I'm saying. Like, that's how strong of an impression he left. I was like, I don't want anyone else in that. again, I love an old superhero. I don't know what else to say. I love an old superhero. I really do. I think it's so bad. I mean, you know how many like 60 to 70-year-olds are gonna watch that movie and go, holy shit, like have a renewed energy for them and just like I can do shit like that. That'd be fucking awesome.
So much of how they originally built the Doctor Strange character. No jokes, mostly serious, always business. And he was so fucking cool. But he's
just so freaking cool. And they nailed the design too. I think they just nailed the look, the visuals on every character, really, honestly.
Dr. Fate
but Dr. Fate was, I mean, it's so because you look at him, you go, that's just a Doctor Strange ripoff. Yet when you see him in action, you're still marveled at it. You are so intrigued by what he's doing.
Yeah.
And that's a big testament, I think, to this, like how they decided to bring him into the movie. I thought it was great.
When he puts up the, I got sad when he puts up the shield.
Oh yeah, to sacrifice himself.
No, I literally said, "Oh no."
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, "No," but then he gave us that like 10-minute, beautifully shot, beautifully animated.
Cool. The shots, the tracking in and out between the helmet
and him,
and keeping going in and out. I was like, "Wow." That was cool. Sick. What a great shot. Like this makes me it makes me go like, who directed this part of the movie and who decided to do the painted in black one action scene? Those are two completely totally different places. I was like, okay, that's weird.
You go back and you just think, oh man, this, like, again, you think, just to like harp on your point, you go, what the hell happened to the kids scenes and all those scenes? And then you watch this and you go, fuck, I'm back in. And they're like, God damn it, I hate it. And I'm like, God damn it, I'm back in. Oh, like Morty, you son of a bitch, I'm in. And then you regret it immediately, and then you go, nope, I'm in again.
Nope, I'm still good. I'm still good. Yeah, this movie was it was a surprise. It was a surprise. I was ready to hate it, and I was hating it, and then it turned out to be
entertaining superhero movie this year by far.
Yeah, it might just be, man. When you just,
it is the most.
I think it is the most entertaining. Period. Yes,
not the
entertaining.
Best. The Batman is probably the best. Not might be.
Yeah, I mean, on an overall level.
For me, second most entertaining was Doctor Strange, but like this, I had just so much more fun in this than I did in Doctor Strange.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Like,
it's fun.
DC. Here's your chance. Here's your opening. Bring back fun superhero movies. Bring them back.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
Here's your chance.
I mean, it's not like they're not trying. You look back at their catalog. That's kind of what they were kind of trying to do.
Yeah, but this is like the first time I can say it's successful.
It's successful. Yeah, that's the thing, is that it was actually successful, which at least to me.
Right. It's not dragged down by Snyder's typical boring things and slow motion crap.
Let's see what the box office tells. If the box office comes in, it'll be fine. Critics didn't like it, but let's see what the BO says.
Right. Yeah.
I hope they do more. I'm sure it'll be here to stay. It will.
All right. I think they're listening. Is that it? You got any more on it?
I think so. No, man. Right. It's good. I would say people, you should watch this.
Go watch this movie. It's fun.
Go watch it. It's just fun. Yeah. Get through the first 30 minutes.
Yes.
That trek through the freaking goddamn the ruins. God help me. That was horrible. That was such it's hard to watch. But it's brutal. Get past it, wait for the Justice Society to show up, and from there you'll have a good time.
If you could fast forward in a movie, I would suggest to, just a little bit past the first 30 minutes, because once you see Aldous Hodge's face, you're in. You're like, oh, this guy's cool.
So true.
Yeah.
He's so cool, dude. Yeah, he's so
cool. The way
he's so cool. I don't know what else to say.
I think there's just something to be said about a no BS superhero. Like,
absolutely.
Like, it's like they said, let's take the original Captain America, who just did everything for the country, right? The right way.
Yeah.
And wanted to always do the right thing. And let's strip away any layers. Let's make him as one note as possible.
Right.
And you're still going to love him. And
yes,
you do.
Yeah. 100%.
Brilliant. I love that.
No, it's just, he's such a great character. I don't know what else to say. He's such a cool.
Man. Those are guys.
I can't. They really stole the movie. Honestly, they really stole the
I kind of want to go
movie.
see it again just to watch them.
I know, me too. I really do. I wish it was like on streaming already, just so I can rewatch those scenes again.
Just to
it's
fast
so
forward
cool.
through 30 minutes and then watch them.
And I'm telling you, dude, it doesn't make any sense. Like, fucking Black Adam is punching Hawkman in the face. The power levels.
Yeah,
he's a human. He's just a human. How is this happening?
He's a human.
He's not a human?
No, let's see. Hawkman.
Come on, bro.
He's not a human.
You can't tell. What is he?
He's a god.
Hawkman's a god?
No, that's not right. That's the wrong thing.
I don't know. I really don't know. But I'm like watching them fight and going like, oh, fuck it. Who cares? Because, I mean, it just doesn't make sense, but who cares? Hawkman's so cool. Let's see.
I don't know, man. It's
does he say he's some like
it doesn't say
enhanced?
What he is.
I mean, it says enhance, and under his abilities on Wikipedia, it says enhanced strength and eyesight. It doesn't say superhuman strength and eyesight. Limited physical regeneration. What? Okay, I don't know. Doing a quick look at this, it doesn't seem like he's like
he can reincarnate
someone who could take a goddamn punch from a god and keep standing back up. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
He does not seem like that kind of hero, but he does.
Matter.
So whatever.
He does, yeah.
Well, clearly it doesn't. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter now because now I actually wanted to see him fight at Black Adam. But
yeah.
Oh, he's in the show. Is that into that? He's in Smallville. Okay.
He's in Smallville.
Wow.
He's in
what an
Legends
upgrade.
Tomorrow. Yeah, no, this is the first time he is like
that fucking stupid ass suit.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is the first time he's like badass.
Such great design.
Yeah,
Anyways.
Absolutely. Man.
Okay, I think we've talked enough.
Yeah.
It's a great movie, great bad movie. Watch it. It's entertaining as shit. More stuff. But yeah, I think that's it.
That's it. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Pizza time.
We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.